Hello, wealthy woman, and welcome to Wealthy Woman Live. Super excited to be here today. We have an incredible guest with us on the live. We've got Jenna coming in. We're going to have an incredible conversation. If you are here on the live, drop a hi, drop a hello. Let us know that you're with us. If you're on the replay, drop a hashtag replay so that we know you're here. We're going to talk juicy today. How many of you guys you want to dial in your messaging? Maybe you are wanting to call in some soul aligned clients, some dream clients. Maybe you're wanting to call in a higher level client. Maybe you're just wanting to call in some clients, period. How many of you guys want to talk about messaging? Drop a me in the chat. I got Jenna here because we're going to go deep. Jenna, what's up? How are you today?
Hi, so good. I'm feeling so good. How are you doing?
Incredible, incredible. So,
Yay.
guys, if you haven't met Jenna before, Jenna is an extraordinary leader, an extraordinary human. She's one of our industry icon mastermind clients, and she is a soulful business strategist. She is an energy wizard. And Jenna, for anybody who's new here who hasn't met you before, why don't you give us a little bit intro, who you are, what you do, who you help, all of the things.
Yes, absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm Jenna. I love being called an energy wizard because energy is so important to me, both spiritually, physically, your aura, everything the word encompasses is something that's super, super important in everything I do. But what do? I guide soul-led entrepreneurs to create a business strategy for marketing and growth that's individualized, personalized, and most effective for them using their human design. So they can stop investing thousands and thousands of dollars in methods that bring them mediocre results.
I
And
love
that's me in a nutshell.
Jenna. I'm so happy to have you here. And this conversation, what we're going to talk about today, guys, I wanted to bring Jenna on because Jenna has been through a really incredible journey with her messaging specifically. We're going to talk about that in just a minute and dive a little bit deeper. And I've really seen her go through this beautiful evolution from, you know, in human design, having a skill set, a zone of genius that is not tangible
Mm.
and really going through this journey of how do I communicate this to the world, to attracting soul aligned clients, creating a signature methodology. She's getting ready to speak at our fourth event, her second in person. She's been on our virtual stages. So I wanted her to share a little bit more about that and what she's cooking up. She's got some cool stuff happening behind the scenes. She's getting ready to deliver an extraordinary workshop at our next mastermind event. So, Jenna, I'm going to turn the mic to you. Why don't you tell us a little bit? I'd love to just kind of rewind. Before we started working together, where were you at in your business? What were you struggling with? Where were you really finding resistance?
It was tragic. Okay, so my story, I'm sure a lot can relate to. I so we'll back it way up. I actually am a makeup and hair artist in Hollywood. I guess I'd be considered a celebrity artist. I specialize in red carpet and whatnot. I started a few years ago a bridal beauty business, and it was my first venture into true entrepreneurship. And it took a lot of trial and error, but I eventually managed to build foundations, grow a team, and create a steadily increasing revenue stream throughout the past 3 years, even through pandemic, lockdown, and the entertainment industry strikes. We're still thriving. But how did I do that? I had to overcome so many limiting beliefs, so many mindset shifts that come along with starting a new business when you've never been a business owner before. It was through that I realized I had a strong calling to empower other women to do the same, and that is kind of when I knew I had to be a coach, which is a total pivot from what I've been doing for 24 years. So as an in-person service provider, I was clueless, like just clueless about the world of online business. So, like any other new entrepreneur in that phase of I have an idea and I want to do a business, but I don't know how to do it, I plunked down my credit card. I hired the expensive coaches and I did all of their step-by-step methods and their strategies and their frameworks and their processes. I was the perfect little student trying to get the most bang for my buck, like pretty much so many of you out there, but nothing happened for me. Even in both businesses, in my bridal beauty business and my coaching business, they were both kind of at a like standstill. And one day I stumbled upon human design, and so much made sense for me. And I started to apply it in how I approached my bridal business, but it still hadn't made the click to my coaching business yet. I don't know why. And then my bridal business started booming, and I increased my sales to like $10,000 a month, um, managing a massive team and just really like thriving in that. But it was this coaching business, I could not make the connection. Like, what was wrong with me? Why, after over 2 years of operating my business exactly how all of the mentors and coaches said I should, is nothing happening? No sales, no clients, no collaborations, no nothing, big fat zero in revenue. And then I realized how to apply my human design to my business, the strategy, the marketing, the systems, defining my ideal client, the client journey, my voice, my messaging, my content creation, my energy, how and when I showed up, all of it. That's when I finally gained traction in my business. That's when things finally started to happen for me. Podcast interviews, keynote speaker invites, guest coaching spots, paid collabs, plus my very own clients, booking my single sessions, my one-on-one mentorship program, buying my ebooks, and now enrolling in my first ever launched group program, which I'm so excited about. So it took finding the courage to do things my way, according to my human design, to finally find success. So that was my big aha. That's what led me to creating the Soulful Business Blueprint, which is all about you creating your business strategy according to your human design. So
I
that's
love
my
this.
story.
I love this. This is it's such a potent journey too. I love this because we both have this. I feel like that's why we connected really quickly, is because we both have this beauty industry background and this service provider mentality and this client based business experience. And now, Jen, I love this. I want to ask you this question because, right, I'm a business coach at the end of the day. And I know you mentioned in your story, you said you had done everything. You did the step by step strategy, you implemented the work, you did the things, and you still felt like you were stuck. You weren't getting the clients, you weren't getting the results. Now, when you came into the industry icon mastermind, what was different specifically about this experience and this container that you feel really started to unlock the clients, the opportunities, and all of the incredible things that you were attracting?
Yeah, and this is key. It was twofold. One, you have been really receptive to me and my boundaries, my energetic boundaries, in meeting me where I'm at and how I want to do business. What I love about our mastermind together, the industry icon, is that you never force me to follow an exact step by step blah blah blah. You're always encouraging me to put things in my own voice and messaging using my own words, following my own energetic patterns, doing my own thing. You give me like a loose framework, but you allow me to apply that how I need to apply it to my business, instead of saying like you need to do this or you're not going to have success. That's what I loved about you, but also how I showed up. I showed up from a place of finally understanding how my human design works and how it applies to my business. So I could enter into this container with very defined boundaries of this is what I need, this is how I need to operate. And so that when we are on a call together, brainstorming and like tossing back and forth ideas of how to go about a launch or how to go about this, I could say to you, that's not going to work for me, and then you can help me brainstorm a way around it to find similar results in a way that does feel good for me. So it's a twofold thing. If I had come to you in the space I was before being embodied in my human design, we might not have the same results, although you are absolutely awesome at what you do. But I may not have been in the receptive mode for it. So it's definitely, I think it goes, it's a dual, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm trying to say. It goes both ways. It takes two to tango. So yeah.
Yeah. I love that, Jenna. I love that. And Jenna had done the work, right? She did the work. It wasn't her first time investing. She had built a business. She knew what it was like to take clients. She did incredible results for her clients. She knew how to be the woman to really take initiative and take responsibility for what she was building. And a lot of what I've seen your personal growth, and I want to chat more about this in just a second because you're getting ready to lead. This is the fourth time you've spoken at one of our events. This is their second in person event where you're really leading in a bigger way. And I've seen so much unlock through your personal power, through the way that you lead, through your certainty and conviction in your work, through what I like to call putting you in the arena and
Yeah.
and loving and shoving you into the arena when you may have not been ready for
Ooh,
it.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you a little bit about how that experience has been for you and how you feel that's helped you shape your message or even just shape your leadership in the industry as a coach, as an entrepreneur.
The love and shove. I I think that has been the biggest win for me since joining your program, since working with you, since meeting you. That little love and shove to show up in person, to take the stage, to not hide myself in the corner. Um, After that first event, actually, the first event, yes, definitely there was a lot of confidence found. That one was the live in person event, and I ran small workshops individually, one on one with people. But then that virtual event where I took the stage as a keynote speaker, I feel there was a confidence thing that happened where it just skyrocketed. It just went through the roof. I felt like an authority. I finally felt like, okay, I am in a position where I know what the hell I'm talking about and I know how to guide people and I can offer them some value. I can really help them shift their business, their life, what have you. And that all came from that one appearance. It was so validating for me, and that just started a momentum that hasn't really stopped. And it's just kept snowballing. And it's really been a wonderful growth period since last August. It was August, right? Yeah, since last August for me. And now I'm getting ready to do the second in-person event with you, but my fourth event overall. And this time I will actually take the stage and speak in addition to doing a little workshop type thing, which I'm so freaking excited about. Um, we've got something planned that's going to be epic for everyone who attends. So I cannot wait to do that. And, you know, taking the stage to actually speak in person is going to be a whole new beast for me. And there's a little bit of nerves and butterflies happening about it, but also it's mostly just excitement. It's just so much spark inside. Like I know I'm gonna kill it. I know that it's gonna be an amazing experience. I know that I have the value to give. And that all came from working with you, from the love and shove that I got from you. If I had not started that with you, would I be in the same place that I'm in right now in my business? And I think the answer is no, absolutely not. While I learned so much in applying my human design to my business, the confidence and authority that I've gained happened from taking the stage, for sure.
I love this. This is one of my favorite things to talk about, guys. How many of you're meant for so much more impact than just marketing and selling on Instagram or Facebook or social media, period. You're meant for something bigger. If you're here in the wealthy woman movement, you are 100%. You are meant to impact millions. You're meant to make millions. I believe that your work is important. You are extraordinary. And I just put out a podcast about this earlier this week. the original story when my speaking mentor did this to me, when he loved and shoved me into a clubhouse room years ago. And he didn't know this. And I told him, Jenna, I told him how we were doing this in the mastermind. And I said, you inspired me. You, it's like there's an embodiment piece. And, you know, Jenna does a lot of this with her clients as well. But you can learn so much from Portal, from a Zoom call, from implementing, from posting content. But when you step into the stage, when you get on a physical platform, whether it's a virtual event or an in-person event, and you take the spotlight and center stage, you embody it on a whole new level. And this personal power, this leadership, it bleeds into the content you create, the way you talk about your offer, the way you show up in your business. And that right there, when it comes to attraction, this energy piece, if it's off, if you don't feel it, your clients aren't going to see you and say, she's the one, Jenna's the one. They're not going to see you and feel that soul connection. She knows what she's talking about. She's for me. So this piece right here, it's like, I nerd out on this
Yeah.
because I believe that speaking is the ultimate portal to embody new levels of leadership and personal power. And I just have witnessed it unlock. I remember the moment you took the virtual stage in that event you referenced. I was like, oh my goodness, I've never seen Jenna like this.
I've never seen Jenna like that.
I remember I sent you a voice note in Slack right after, and I was like, Jenna, you just unlocked a level of power I didn't even know existed. Let's freaking go. So I love this. I love this. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now, because you've got something incredible. You've been cooking up a really incredible signature program where this is a piece of what you do with your clients too. Tell us a little bit about how you're helping your audience shape their voice, shape their leadership. What are you doing in your business? And then I want to talk about how you're going to help the wealthy woman movement in our next in-person event. So like, let's dive into all of that.
Yes, let's go. So, like I said, it was when I found how to do things my way in my business that led me to my aha. And that's how I created the Soulful Business Blueprint. So, I utilized my human design to kind of cook up a blueprint for everything: my brand identity, how I lead, my business systems and structures, how I format my day. It all goes according to my human design, my energy, my masculine and feminine energy, my aura type, all of it. From there, I look at the way I express myself, my voice, my communication, and that goes into everything I do, from when I'm speaking on stories, or I'm giving a keynote talk, or I'm on a podcast interview, or I'm creating content um, for emails or Instagram or my program, whatever it is. It all utilizes the elements of my human design chart because that's the way I'm designed to do all of it. Um, Also defining my ideal client, what they struggle with, what desired outcomes they have, and how I can best serve them. It's all told to me through my human design. So I kind of look at my chart and like look at all these different elements, and I create, step by step, a blueprint for my business and how it's going to operate and how I'm going to serve and how I'm going to market and how I'm going to show up and who I'm serving, how I'm serving them, all of it. It's all there in my human design. And that's what I help my clients do for themselves because I've had so much success at it. So what I have coming is a 3-month mini mind where we look at your leadership, your brand, and your expression using your human design. It's a group program, yes, but everything that I do is individualized and personalized. So everyone who is in it will get that individualization in their trainings, in our interactions, my eyes on their business and how they can implement their human design within their business. All of that's so important to me. There's never going to be any homogenized, like strict step-by-step framework that everybody follows, no cookie cutter strategies. Like I can't. I can't do it. I can't partake in that. I spent too much of my precious money on those exact things to get no results. And it's really, I feel like this is what is missing in the industry. There's so few coaches out there like you, Allie, that you might not have the human design aspect, but you're so receptive and understanding about meeting your clients where they're at. And I am doing the same thing and taking it a level deeper by really looking at what they have to offer and who they should be offering it to and how and all that stuff. Um, so that's what I'm doing. That's what I got cooking up. I'm really excited about it.
I love this. I love this. And I know this was a huge goal when you came into the space too of you were already getting clients, you were getting sales in your business, but it was how do we take what Jenna is doing in human design and craft it into a signature methodology, a signature talk too, now that she's able to deliver from stages, podcasts, all of these things and impact people and impact a lot more people through this work at scale. How does it feel for you now that you finally this was a journey articulating that, packaging that up, refining it, and then validating, getting clients inside of the mini mind? Like, how does that feel for you now that you've gone through that journey and you have a method, you have a message, you have all of this laid out?
So good. So good. Creation has become more streamlined and efficient for me because I do have that message all laid out. Like I know exactly what I need to convey and how I need to convey it now. Whereas before it would be like write an email or write a post or whatever, create your marketing, and all of it would be crickets because it was always a blank slate. I was starting at square one. I didn't have the clarity around what I wanted to say, how I wanted to say it. So our work together and then me having the human design knowledge has really helped me to kind of refine everything down to just such an exact science, which for me is wonderful because I'm a projector. I have very limited energy. So I can't be spending 8 hours a day working on this stuff. I can't spend 2 hours on an Instagram post. That would exhaust me and I'd be done for the rest of the day. So, I need to be able to put something up that that speaks from my soul and speaks to my ideal client, but like I'm not starting at square one every day of like, what should I say today? What do they need to hear? Like I already know. Now it's just how am I gonna, vomit that out onto an Instagram post today? Like, um, doing emails is so much easier, all of it. And having a signature program finally. When I came to you, I expressed to you that I've been trying to create a program since 2021, and I had not been able to do it successfully. I tried. I even tried to launch something, but I literally had zero idea what it even was as I was launching it. I never had anything defined. I never had anything refined. I never had like an actual, like tangible, like this is my program. This is my offer, and this is what it's going to do for you. I've never had that. So that has been such a blessing for me, really energetically and just authority wise, confidence wise, and clearly sales wise. It has just made everything go up.
I love this. I love this. And one of the things you said too, and I love this is one of the things I really loved about our journey together so far. I know Jenna mentioned that she's a projector. So one of the things I strongly believe is that we don't need to show up more in our business. We need to show up more powerfully. And this was a lot of the work that we did. And I know you mentioned too, like having this, I like to call it freedom within a framework. Yes, there are principles. I like to teach from principles and models because when you can learn the principles and the models, the tactics are always going to change, the fads, the algorithm, that's always going to change. But if you know it at a principle and a model level, and you can really take that and understand it more deeply, you can tweak it and modify it to be anything that you want. So the cool thing with Jenna is she's got another business, she's got a life, she's got stuff going on outside of this, and she'll say, Allie, no, I can't, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do it that way. And we'll say, okay, cool, let's make it work for you, how can we do it? So even in this launch you're in right now, that was just one of the cool things where I would love to see you do this, and you're like, I
No.
can't do that right now. I
No.
still have the capacity. I'm like, all right, cool, then let's do it this way. And you're like, ooh, that's
Yeah,
tingling my soul. So
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, your second idea was just chef's kiss.
yeah, I love
Yeah.
this. I
And
love
that's what
this.
I value about you is your willingness to be like, oh, okay, that's not going to work for you. Well, let's plan B it. What else can work? And something equally as effective, but not so energetically draining for me, which is just it's key. I've never had that before. I've also never had a coach, um, and I have paid for some pretty pricey coaching programs. I've never had a coach with their eyes and hands on my business the way you do, and I think that um, it's so invaluable. The hybrid that you offer of like the group setting, but also the one-on-one setting it's invaluable. And I really feel strongly that every high ticket group program should offer that some level of one-on-one to it. Because why? Why would anybody be paying what people are paying to not get that? You know? Because no two businesses are alike, no two people are alike, and so that means no marketing plan or business strategy or whatever is going to work for everyone. So it's important to have that one-on-one time to be like, okay, this isn't going to work for you, well, let's figure out what is. you know
Mhm.
that's what I love.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And I mean, it's so valuable. I strongly believe that too. I believe with if you are building a business, scaling a business, one-on-one support is so, so important. And, and I know, guys, if you've heard, like, that's my story too. I tried to follow somebody else's strategy. I got stuck. And it wasn't until I started doing things the way that it's funny because it was my human design. I didn't know Jenna. Jenna actually has helped me since then to really fully step into it more in my messaging and how I deliver my talks as a speaker. She's consulted me on that, but it was my human design for anybody who's listening and they're like, okay, does this work? So when I found out that my human design, I'm a manifestor by human design, is the way that I was meant to lead, and I understood more of this leadership role that I'm meant to have. I'm meant to lead bigger spaces. I'm meant to lead crowds of people. I'm meant to lead movements. And this was what really activated me. I was like, I should just host an event. It'll be fun. We'll see what happens. And, you know, that learning my human design was one of the reasons I said, well, let's just try it out because this other stuff isn't working. And that unlocked everything. It unlocked my entire business model. It's taken guys from from hiding in a Facebook group afraid to post on social media to speaking on stages around the world, building a movement, hosting in-person events. So, I mean, I can't back this enough. If it wasn't for me finding my human design and really understanding that, I might not, I don't know when I would have really found speaking or events, but I don't know that I would have gone that way, or even just taking it a level deeper. When Jenna gave me a reading when we did Wealthy Woman Live, you showed me I should be leaning more into my intuition when I'm speaking. And I was leaning into a lot more structure, and that really unlocked a lot more audience engagement. It unlocked a lot more fluidity on stage for me. I started getting more speaking engagements. I'm actually getting return clients that I'm speaking with now. So I don't know if you, I wasn't planning to go there, but it's
It's huge.
so, it's like, it's the funny thing is too, Jenna, is that now that I find if I'm really close friends with somebody or like, I'm just like, what's your birth date and time? And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, call your mom. I need to know your human. If we're going to spend time together, I need to know what your
I
human
need to
design.
know. That's me all the time with everybody. Like I need the information, and I think people that I meet for the first time think that I'm a bit crazy, especially if they're not in this like coaching community that we have online. They don't understand what I'm talking about. They're like, why? And then I'll be like, I need to know your human design. They're like, what is that? But it's funny because every time I make a convert out of them, as soon as I'm like, oh, okay, this about you and this about you and this about you, they're like, and I can like start to tell them you struggle with this and you struggle with that, and like this, you can make this shift and you can make that shift. But going back to you speaking, it was such a small shift for you. It really was like a small tweak, but it unlocked so much power in your voice. Because I think sometimes when we're speaking, um, and that goes for taking stage or showing up in stories, talking, or on a live or on a podcast, all the way to writing the caption on your posts. When we're using our voice in a way it wasn't designed to be used because we're modeling it after the way our coach or a mentor or that really cool person that you see online that makes all that money, and you start imitating or modeling like her posts, it's not your voice. So I know me for a long time, everybody was like, value post, value post, value post. And I was like, great. And everybody's like, how to's, give them step by steps and this and that. And so it came from a real like teaching place, right? Like, I'm teaching you how to by giving you A, B, C, X, Y, Z steps. That is speaking from information, which is coming from your head and your mind. Well, I have a disconnect there. My head and my mind, it would be called the ajna in human design. They're completely open and they're not connected to my throat. So when I'm forcing myself to speak this way, first of all, it would take me like hours of research to create the caption because I couldn't ever remember in my head. Stuff like that just flies right out. But also, the voice that I was using was false for me. So it wasn't landing. I'd spend hours and hours on these posts. I'd finally post them. I'm so proud. This is so good and juicy. People are gonna love this. Crickets. Like just absolute crickets. Like no one cares. It didn't land for anybody. No one connected with it. Nothing. And then I realized, well, I speak from identity and I have a really powerful storytelling gate activated in my throat. So telling stories from a space of who I am and what my experiences have been. And then my splenic center, my center of intuition, instinct, fears, all of that, what's healthy for me, what's good for me, what's aligned for me right now comes from that space. And yours is connected to your throat as well. When I speak from that, especially when it's things like this, that's when people connect with me. That's when my passion comes out. It was funny because you and I were just kind of riffing on Slack earlier, and I don't remember, you asked me if I had any questions or anything specific that I wanted to dive into on this, or like any points you wanted me to I wanted you to touch on. And I was like, girl, I got nothing prepared. But as I should, because I'm designed to speak off the cuff about the things that I'm passionate about. That's how I speak and how they relate to me. That's how I speak in the most effective way so that my ideal clients, my soulmate clients, their ears are going to perk up and they're going to be like, oh, yeah, okay. I hear what she's saying. If I sit and just spit out facts and information to you, people are going to be like, okay, she's boring and I don't care. But I have another client whose throat is connected directly to her head and her mind. So she can sit and spit out facts and information all day long, and people are like, oh, wow, So it's just, how are you designed to speak? That is so important. I just went off on a tangent, but circling it back, I just really love that you made that shift and it unlocked so much power in your voice. It's something simple and small, and it's so powerful.
Mm. No, this is huge. It's huge. And guys, for context, I was an over preparer when I spoke. It was I needed to have everything. And as a speaker, it's really important to, let's just be honest, understand what the intention of your talk is, what points you want to land, and how it relates to what you're doing, right? Are you presenting an offer from this stage? What do you want people to do at the end? So it is very important to have this intentionality. However, and I still do that. However, I've really gone from, okay, here's the entire script and every bullet point too. Now really having this more very similarly this a framework where I know what I'm going to hit, but I can show up in the intuitive piece. And I believe that's a big piece of what shifted was when Jenna told me, you're not meant to over prepare, you're meant to speak from your intuition. And it's helped me become a better speaker, and I've got a lot more speaking opportunities because of it. And I'm going back even for my third event with one of my favorite clients. So I'm super, super excited. That was huge. So, Jenna,
That makes me so happy.
so thank you. So
Yeah.
we've got, guys, if you don't know, we do this really incredible event. It's called Wealthy Woman Live. This is when we get in the room. We have an in-person mastermind event. It's really cool because it's kind of intimate. It's like a family vibe. It's not like 100 people. We keep it pretty tight. We're actually we have a very intimate group this time. We only have like 6 more spots available, but what we're going to be doing, this is on March 3rd here in San Diego. Guys, this is like the room you want to be in. If you're somebody who's wanting to grow your business and you know that you want to do that with speaking, you want to be hosting events, maybe you want to be doing retreats, you want to get really rock solid in your messaging, you want to build a reputation in your industry as the go-to authority on what you teach. And this particular event is structured in a way where you're going to get more done in a day than maybe even a month in some coaching programs. So Jen is going to be doing something super cool at this event. So we are bringing in Jenna. She's going to be really delivering in her zone of genius and helping you guys understand how do we integrate your human design into the way you lead online and the messaging that you communicate to the marketplace. So Jenna, do you want to talk just a second about that? Because I'm so cool. I'm so cool. I'm not, guys.
You are
I'm cool,
so
but I mean,
cool.
this is so
You're
cool.
so cool.
I'm so excited. I was trying to say, I'm so excited and this is so cool at the same time. But why don't you tell us a little bit about this? Because you're so cool and this is so cool. And I'm really geeking out on this because we have a event planning meeting later with our event director, and there's a lot of energy around this right now. So tell us more.
I'm stoked on it because you and I riffed a little bit and kind of got it all worked out earlier today of how this was going to go down. And now I'm just like totally lit on fire about it and cannot wait. So we are, you mentioned like really getting like your taking the stage, your speaker self kind of together and defined who you are as a speaker. Well, we'll be taking that a step further using your human design. So one piece of my soulful business blueprint is your soulful expression. So we will really focus on unlocking the power of your voice during the Wealthy Woman Live event. And I will show you how to do that using your human design chart. So for those who attend, you'll have your human design charts ready to go, and I will show you all the ins and outs of how to use your voice in its most powerful, most effective way, from taking the stage to creating your content. And then we're going to do a little kind of hands-on workshop as well, with everybody, where I'll be giving individual attention to everybody, but as a group, so everyone can also learn from each person, which I think is so valuable. And I can't wait. It's going to be epic.
I'm so excited for this. Guys, not in a bad way, but Jenna made everybody cry at our last event who she did readings for because it helped them really, and even me too. She had mine on video, which was kind of
And I used
funny.
it.
You used it in your
I
marketing.
posted it.
I was like, this is great. People will never see this side of me publicly, and I'm glad you shared that. So, guys,
Yeah,
just FYI,
with permission.
yeah, when you
It
learn
was
this
with
stuff,
permission.
it just unlocks so much for you. So if you're wanting to, in a single day, get so super rock solid clear on who you are as a leader, what your offer is that you want to take to the world, and then how to turn that offer into the vehicle for a global movement with a signature message that you can deliver from stage, and then how that correlates to your own event, virtual or in-person event that you can use to attract clients, we're going to do that in a single day. So Get inside. If you need the link, I'll drop the link after this inside of our Facebook community, but you can comment event below if you'd like me to drop the link or give you more information. Feel free to jump into my DMs, are always open with questions if you have any questions. Our VIP tickets are $297, and it's just like the most incredible thing. We also have a GA ticket for $97, so you can get in the room and do this stuff. So super, super exciting. Jenna, how can people get a hold of you, get in touch with you? Where are you at? How can they find you if they want to learn more about what you're doing in your life, in your business, and all the incredible things you just talked about?
Yeah. The easiest way to find me is on Instagram at im.jenna.marie. You can also find my private Facebook group, the Soulful Business Community. Just go ahead and do a search for Soulful with two L's, SOULFULL, Business Community on Facebook. Or you can send me a good old fashioned email at hello@im-jennamarie.com.
I love this. Guys, go follow Jenna. I'll make sure she's tagged. If you're in the Wealthy Woman Facebook community, I'm going to make sure that she's tagged in this post so you guys can find her, you can connect with her, and go binge her content, go in her group. She's just the most extraordinary soul. If you haven't already gotten a ticket for Wealthy Woman Live, this is the room you want to be in. This is our annual in-person event. I couldn't be more excited. This room will change your life if you let it. And I couldn't be more pleased to have Jenna coming in and leading and facilitating a workshop. This is just going to be so extraordinary. So, Jenna, thank you so much for coming on today, for coming on the show. This was so much fun.
Yeah, I loved it. Everybody listening, watching, whatever, get your little soul into the Wealthy Woman Live event because I'm dying to read your human design. So get in the room.
I love this. Now, Jenna, one more final question. Our
Yeah.
audience, the wealthy women who are listening, who are in the community, they are women with a big vision. And if they're maybe where you were on the verge of getting into speaking, I know that there was some resistance, there was hesitation, you had some fear about really getting in the arena and taking the stage. What would you say to somebody who's maybe on the fence, where they know they want to lead in a bigger way, they know they want to use their voice in a bigger way, and they're maybe in that same place? What would you say to them?
Ooh. Well, first of all, rip the band-aid off because there is no way to build confidence in it but getting out there and doing it. Love and shove. So I think that is my number one piece of advice. The second piece of advice is to really know yourself. Really know who you are and what you're here to do and who you're here to do it for and how you're here to do it. That's going to give you the confidence and authority to take any stage and just speak. That's my advice.
I love that. I love that. Well, wealthy woman, I'm sending you so much love. This was incredible, Jenna. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll make sure all of Jenna's information is linked. She'll be linked in the group. We're going to have this on the podcast too. So if you're listening to the podcast, all Jenna's information will be in the show notes, so you can take a look down there. So, Jenna, I love you so much. Wealthy woman, I love you. I hope you have an incredible day, and we will talk to you so, so soon.